Today on Judge Faith, longtime family friends who disagree about the quality of an interior decorating job come to court for a final battle over the bill.
She was like, "You mean to tell me that that's $1,500 worth of stuff?" And she went on to say, "Well, no, you're gonna have to show me the receipts. I don't believe that." I said, "Wait a minute, what are you saying?"
Each and every last one of the receipts is blanked out.
She always respected me, came to me for advice on personal things. Now suddenly I'm a thief.
All the pertinent information on the receipts just happened to fade. So you think she acetoned the receipts?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Tyree Leggett says the defendant tried to con her by decorating her new townhouse with used items and low-end accessories. She's suing for a decorating job. She's accompanied in court today by her mother, Pamela Shand. Defendant Stephanie Flowers says she doesn't know because she completed the interior decorating job and did her best on a tight budget. She's countersuing for decorating fees and defamation of character. She's accompanied in court today by her sister, Carol Lamar.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Leggett versus Flowers.
Thank you, Juan. Tyree Leggett.
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Stephanie Flowers.
Yes.
For $1,800 you say she owes you for a decorating job that
Yes.
you're unsatisfied with.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $2,000.
Yes, ma'am.
For decorating fees and also defamation of character.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so give me some background. How do you know the defendant?
She's married into our family. She's married to a cousin, but I call him my uncle.
Are the two of you close? Have you been close?
I haven't been here. I've been in Connecticut, but most important, no problems.
Okay, how would you
Before this.
describe your relationship with her?
The way she described it, however, I would go a little further to say that Tyree has always held a very special place in my heart. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to her all the time, but her family and my husband very closely connected,
Mm-hmm.
so whoever he loves dearly, then I grew to love dearly as well.
Okay, so...
Especially Tyree.
Why especially her?
Just the way she interacted with me, she made me feel like I was very special to her. Mm-hmm. She always respected me. I watched her grow and was, told her I was very proud of her for all of her accomplishments, so.
Do you do interior decorating? Is that what you do for a living?
I'm not doing it as a living anymore. I did it in the past. I stopped doing it when the housing market crashed.
Okay. Where's the townhouse located?
In Decatur, Georgia.
So you are moving into a new townhouse.
Yes.
You want it to be decorated.
Yes.
And Ms. Flowers had actually done work for you before that you were happy with.
I was happy.
Okay, so tell me about this agreement and what you agreed to pay her to do for you.
Well, it started off in December because I moved in my townhouse in December 10th, 2015. And then in January or maybe December, I reached out to Stephanie and said that, I needed my house decorated. But in the process with my job, I started traveling to different parts of the, because I do EEG, so I started traveling all over. And I would be going for a week or 2 or 3 at a time.
What is EEG?
EEG is an electroencephalogram.
Okay.
And basically, we monitor the brain waves of pediatrics and also adult patients.
Okay.
So I go to their homes. So it's a need all over the United States of America. So my company that I was working with sent me to different places because the market in Georgia had slowed down tremendously. So I still had to keep money. So I still had the money. So I reached out to Stephanie because by the time I wanted to come home, I wanted it to be like a comfort zone for me. So that's why I wanted it nicely decorated, make a house a home.
Now, you are suing because you want the entire $1,800 back.
Only reason why I want the whole $1,800 back is because the receipts are blank, and I don't know what's what, and I believe that they are fraudulent.
Let me see the receipts, and I want you to tell me what the issues were, then I'll hear from you.
My mother had to go get the receipts because we had an argument, so...
You and Ms. Flowers had an argument?
Yes, we did.
Ms. Flowers, when was the first time you heard there was a problem?
Basically what happened, after I finished her project, which was somewhere around the end of January, naturally I'm reaching out to her, and I know of her her job situation where she travels a lot. So I reached out to her by phone, by text, for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. No response.
What was the reason you were reaching out?
Well, to let her know that I was finished, because normally when I finish a job, what happens is I do a walkthrough with the
You
client.
were completely finished with decorating?
Completely finished.
Okay, so you did all the work. You expected to be paid the remainder of the money at that point?
It wasn't about money. It was about I finished the job.
Okay.
So I wanted to do a walkthrough or just even have a conversation with her and tell her that I finished. She finally reached out to me and she was like, "Hi, Auntie, I'm back." So I went to the place. I really like it. "But you're not finished, are you?" I said, "Well, yeah, I am finished. As a matter of fact, I've done all that I could do because I ran out of money." And she was like, "You mean to tell me that that's $1,500 worth of stuff?" I was like, "Actually, it's more than $1,500. I spent over the amount." And she went on to say, "Well, no, you're going to have to show me the receipts. I don't believe that." I said, "Wait a minute." I said, what are you saying?"
Coming up, the quality of the work is called into question.
Well, what was the problem when you got home?
This is my shower curtain. This is glue.
I thought it was a good job. I put everything that I had into it.
And I had stains on my pillows as well.
What are these things?
You have to ask Miss Flowers that.
So let me ask you, did you ever go to her and say, "You don't have enough money, so I'm going to have to cut some corners"? Hi, I'm Judge Faith. Follow me on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Plaintiff Tyree Leggett says Stephanie decorated her townhouse with used items and low-end accessories. She's suing for a decorating job. Defendant Stephanie Flowers says she doesn't know because she did her best on a tight budget. She's countersuing for decorating fees and defamation of character.
Well, what was the problem when you got home?
I know her quality of work, and I've seen her quality of work because she did an apartment for me before in 2009. And well, first of all, I was very offended while I called her because this is my towel, which is a brand that I buy. She took this towel and she used it as a decorative piece. And also, this towel, low quality, this right here is from Walmart.
We don't use towels for Walmart?
No, I'm not saying that you can't use towels. No, I don't have a problem with Walmart. But with the money that I provided to her, another thing is, this is her work. This is glue. This is my shower curtain. This is glue.
So the shower curtain was made, and you said, "Will you hand me the shower curtain?"
Here you go. And I had stains on my pillows as well. Stains. Yellow stains, dirt stains, like they were used. Oh, here, the pillow. Would you like to take a look?
Yes.
Thank you. Here you go.
This was how the pillow...
Yes.
What are these stains?
You have to ask Miss Flowers that.
It looks like food.
Basically, she had enough money for 2 king-size pillows. We have 4 king-size pillows on the bed. I bought 2 brand-new king-size pillows, and then I gave her, she didn't pay for this right here.
This isn't good. Okay, tell me what's happening with the shower curtain.
Basically, what's happening
on the
is
shower curtain.
I could have bought her a short shower curtain, but the same thing that I did with her bedroom curtains, I took them to an alterationist. They charged me $100 to sew everything together.
Okay.
But she didn't have enough money, but I wanted to...
So let me ask you, did you ever go to her and say, "You don't have enough money, so I'm going to have to cut some corners here and try to make this work"?
I didn't, because just the way that I glue gunned those panels right there, I did the same exact thing in her apartment.
Before?
It didn't look like that.
Okay, is that true?
So if
It did not look like this.
But she did do that in your prior apartment.
But she did it at the top around the panel so that you could not really tell because it was a shorter curtain and then it was sheer at the
Do you have any
bottom.
photos of the way the home looked after she decorated it?
Yes, I do.
This is after you finished?
Yes.
Okay.
Before I finished, it was just a bed with nothing.
Okay,
She
it does look good.
did have sheets.
You do the mirrors on the top?
Yep.
Right. Everything in the room except for the bed and the sheets I bought. There's a duvet cover, there's a comforter inside the duvet covers. The pillows that she's talking about, those pillows are behind the new pillows.
What's the problem with the bedroom?
First off, the picture, I asked her not to put it right there because my TV stand goes right there. Don't do that because you know it's true. And also, the gray tables on the side, those 2 are the same exact lamps. So on the receipts, she has 2 lamps from Target, and 2 lamps from Home Goods.
Where do you think she got them from? What are you saying?
I think that came from her inventory, and she put it in my house.
So you're saying she didn't purchase these items,
No.
it came from your inventory, but she's charging you as if she purchased them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and let me see the video.
This is my duvet, and it's too small for my bed, and also the insert is too small as well. That's why you see the gathering here, and also, so my finger is here where my thumb is. That's the end of it, and then you have this much space. So that's why it's floppy like that.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I just say
Yes.
one thing? Tyree is mad at something else, and
What
he
is
can't
it?
be
What is
at
it?
me.
Don't
do that.
I'm not sure what it is.
What do you think it is? I'm trying to understand.
I'm puzzled by this whole thing. I was taken aback. She always respected me, came to me for advice on personal things. Now suddenly I'm a thief. I don't get it.
What do you have to say, ma'am? You're her mother?
Yes,
Ms.
I'm her
Harvey Smith,
mom.
why don't you step up? What do you have to say, miss?
The whole argument that occurred, I have text messages of the argument, or the, we're going to call it a verbal altercation that occurred. I never once accused her of anything. I asked, was she done? Because there were certain things that were missing. She automatically started yelling at me and saying that I accused her of taking something, but I didn't. And she told me, she called me sweetie, oh, I have all of the receipts. And then when I told her, okay, well, if you have all the receipts, give them to me. She went to Home Goods, Targets, and Ross. And as you can look at those receipts, like I said, the reason why I'm suing for $1,800 because I can't decipher. Each and every last one of the receipts is blanked out.
And so you want me to go through and decipher?
No, ma'am. I want you to hear me out and you decide what's fair, because clearly this is not fair to me.
What do you have to say, ma'am?
It took her 3 days to bring the to bring the receipts to me, and I'm thinking, okay, she's coming back. Tyree was like, well, Ma, I don't know if she's done. She still got the key. So I said, well, you know, things take time. She's coming back, and it's like 2 months later, I'm finding out that she's done.
Okay, and these are the receipts. This
Those are
stack
the
that you
receipts,
gave
and she
me,
handed those to me.
She handed you. These are the
Me.
receipts for the items you say
That she
handed you for purchase
mean,
items.
when
Okay, can you explain these 2 receipts to me? Why is this?
Well,
here?
basically,
what is this page?
what happened is
Because the receipt is blank.
Right. Whenever I do a job, I keep a Ziploc container for my receipts. Keep them with me like it's the Bible in case I have to take something back. Once I completed her job, I put the container in my back seat, and because of the type of paper that it is, the receipts rub up against each other, and the receipts faded. So I went back. I drove 50, 60 miles, went back to the original stores. They were able to read the receipt. They did a reprint for me. I did this for them because really, to be honest, I thought once I gave them the receipts, I would get a phone call saying, I'm sorry.
This is odd.
All the
This is odd.
receipts came from the store.
Listen, but what you're telling me is the parts of the receipts that are faded and you can't read anything on them. I can see that it's from Pier 1, and then the rest of the receipt is virtually blank.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the issue of the faded receipts is examined in more detail.
All the receipts are blanked out. There is no reason for that.
You said these receipts were in your car and they faded?
They were in like a bank bag.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Plaintiff Tyree Leggett says Stephanie tried to con her with fake receipts. She's suing for a decorating job. Defendant Stephanie Flowers says she doesn't know because she completed the interior decorating job. She's countersuing for decorating fees and defamation of character.
I'm asking you a question about these because it's very confusing to me that these huge stores, that they're able to go back and track these things, but their name is nowhere on these receipts.
I don't know if
Nothing.
they have a different type of system that is they do the reprints on, but
the problem is you have no proof. You can't submit proof.
All I can give you is my word.
But we're in court now, and it's one person's word against another because I don't find that these reprints are sufficient because the company's name's not on them.
Right.
Okay.
Anybody can reprint that. I'm not saying you did, but that's kind of what you're being accused of.
That's fine. That's fine.
And multiple stores do this, not just one.
Yes,
multiple stores
they do.
Can reprint receipts and the company's name's nowhere on them. You said these receipts were in your car and they faded?
They were in like a bank bag. I had a zip
In your car?
bank bag.
And they faded?
Yes.
Because they were sitting in your car?
Those 3 receipts because of the carbon.
Inside of a bank bag it faded?
Well,
Why would it fade inside of a bank bag?
Well, because of what the receipts are made of, the type of paper that's used, if you rub up against, if heat and I guess they fade. I didn't know they faded.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
You don't believe me? Okay.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. What do you have to say?
Your Honor, I came to speak on her character, and I know that my sister would never cheat. So I can vouch for receipts fading because I do, in my business, I buy stuff from Home Depot, and those receipts always fade. Those receipts can fade in a matter of
weeks later.
Or months. They really can.
The problem is you can't tell what's purchased on any of them. All the pertinent information on the receipts just happened to fade. It's really unfortunate that you all had to come to court over something like this.
It is unfortunate because they've lost their family.
No, it's I.
But it is a shame. It is a shame, right?
I'm not losing any sleep.
If that's the way you feel.
The only sleep I lost was sleeping on that nasty pillow.
But she said before, and is it true that this was someone that you confided in
Yes.
over the period of your life? So this is
Yes.
someone that you've known.
I'm not here because of a personal thing. This is business. And she did not handle business at all. All the receipts are blanked out. There is no reason for that. And like she said, you rub up against it, you're right. And I have a receipt right here on a picture, one of the return receipts. That comes from acetone. When you use alcohol or acetone, this is what happens. The ink starts to bleed. Each and every receipt that when I went to TJ Maxx, they could do nothing with it because it's always, like you said, blanked out in the right places. There's either the barcode is blanked out, the transaction number is blanked out, and they would print a duplicate receipt, but I don't have the right information for it to follow up behind her.
So you think she acetoned the receipt?
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So here's what we're going to do. I acknowledge the fact that the defendant did do work. My problem is with your proof of purchasing the items for her home. What is your counterclaim for defamation about?
Because they've been telling people like they're talking here today, telling other family members and God knows who else. And she put a spot on my name.
Ms. Flowers, I'm going to explain to you a little bit about defamation
Right.
and why your case doesn't amount to defamation.
Okay.
If someone has an opinion and they share that opinion with other people, that's not defamation.
Okay.
Having an opinion about work that they don't like.
Okay.
If, for example, she went to family members and outright came up with a lie about you, right, and said, I paid her $1,800, she never showed up once at my house and didn't do anything, she stole my money. That's taking it to another level. Then I could hear why you would feel you'd have a defamation claim. But in this case, what you're talking about doesn't rise to the level of defamation. This is a proof issue for me, and I find that your evidence is insufficient, and perhaps there was some tampering with the receipts in this case. Based on that, based on the fact that you did do some work, but I find that your proof in terms of what you spent on materials for her home is completely insufficient, I'm going to order you to return $1,000 to the plaintiff. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Good luck, ladies.
Thank you.
I brought evidence, I bought receipts. Out of those receipts, 3 of my receipts were faded. I'm not sure what they did with their receipts.
I'm happy that I got some type of money back so I can decorate my home, and I just will not use her or ever again.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.